Hey, hi there. I'm Stacy, owner of WC Scratch Bindery. So just to share a little bit about me, I conduct various bookbinding workshops and also do commission and repair works on books. Now today I'd like to share about how to use the bookbinding project that you've got. So let's get started. Okay, so here you can see this set. Now it comes with the cradle, the odd jig, and then there is the even jig. Right. So the odd jig starts off at 0.5 cm and it has intervals of 1 cm apart. So which means to say your measurements will start from 0.5 followed by 1.5, 2.5 and so on. The even jig starts from 1 cm, has intervals of 1 cm as well, which means your measurements start from 1 cm, 2 cm, 3 cm, 4 cm and so on. Okay. Now the cradle is a holder for the folded pages. You can see a valley down here. This is the place where it enables the piercer to make the piercing. Now before you get started, okay, you will need to prepare the measurements that you want for piercing. In this example, I'm using 5 holes. So you can see over here, this is the center. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 holes. And I've decided that I wanted to find, I wanted to have 4 cm here, 4 cm here, and this is 5. Between these two holes, they are 5 cm apart, and this is 5 cm apart. Of course, you can also make this shorter. It's all dependent on you. I just want to have a variation so you can see how different measurements work. All right. Now, this is an A5 piece of paper, which means my center is actually at this whole piece over here. This is 210 mm, so it's 21 cm. And this center portion here, this will be 10.5 cm. Now, if you're using, since there's the odd number of holes, I'll be using the odd jig for it. If you have an even number of holes, then you want to consider using the even jig, right? Now, in this case, we are going to mark out the center, which is this jig over here. Now, I like to use painter's tape to actually mark the holes so that I don't have to keep counting or do this all over again and again. But if you're just doing one book and you just want to, do a quick one, then you don't need painter's tape. So here I prepared some painter's tape. Get it out. So you can use washi tape if you have at home to do this as well. And then I'll just lay it over. Just make sure you line that up. And from there, I will make a piercing. The hole is, so I still can see the hole. All right. Now, the next portion I'll be marking off the 4 cm, and since this is 1 cm intervals, you can see that 1, 2, 3, 4, then this is the one that I'd like to mark. I usually find it easier if you have a sample piece and then you can mark accordingly, and you don't have to do this all over again, especially when you're doing multiple books. Okay, so continue. And the next one is 5 cm apart. So we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can change this as and when you want. The good thing about using painter's tape, it's not very sticky, so you can remove them without leaving that sticky residue later on. So the same thing, we'll mark the other side. The last one is a little bit small, but I do not really want to spend to do another one, so I'm using this. Yeah, you don't have to get it. You don't have to make it so big if you don't want to. It's just for marking purposes so that you know where to pierce your holes later. Okay, so just remember, find, well, you can just wriggle your piercer around and you can find the slot, the hole that is already there. Okay, so here you go. All right, so now you'll probably have your pages ready. This is your A5 paper. So I'm just going to imagine that I'm doing one. So if you're doing pamphlet stitching, you may have more than one page, in one signature. So it's okay, just have to put them together. Just make sure it doesn't get overly thick. I would say this is about 100 GSM paper. So that I could put probably 3 or 4 in one set. Otherwise, you can split them out into different sets and do it as well. Now, here I have, I always keep this habit of maintaining my up direction of the jig itself. So if I place this on the cradle, this is the rest position. And if I place my holes here this way, I will maintain doing this and not the other way. Some on this end, some on this end. This is to ensure if there's any error at all, so the error will be all the same. Then you probably wouldn't even realize, okay? So rest position, you'll put your pages on top of it. Now, make sure the page, okay, you can see over here, the page is on top of that valley. A lot of people like to do this. Now, if you do this, the piercer cannot go through and it cannot make the hole that it's required to do, okay? So what you need to do is just to rest the pages on top of it and make sure that it is not in the valley, okay? Align your pages towards the rest position, which is here. You just gently push it through. Place this jig in this manner. You're going to hold on to it. Now, when you're using a piercer, always make sure they are in an upright position, not slanted, so that you will make the holes accurately. So that we can get started. What I like to do is I like to place my fingers on the spaces that I'm not piercing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, there you are. And when I remove it, okay, my hand to the focus. Okay. You remove it, you will be able to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 nicely pierced holes. Alignment of the measurements that you have made. I hope you learned more about the bookbinding project in this video. Now, feel free to DM me on Instagram or email me if you have any questions. Thank you for joining me today.